After playing the first game, it wasn't long till I moved on to the second game, Sly 2 Band of Thieves, which was also developed by Sucker Punch and was published by Sony. Before playing the game, I was aware that the gameplay was quite different from the first, so I wasn't quite sure what to expect. The game was pretty well received by players and critics, but what do I think of the game? Is it good, bad, or just meh? The story starts off with Sly and his friends breaking into a building to steal the clockwork parts to prevent him from being revived. However, it turns out that the parts had already been stolen by a different gang of criminals, and from there, Sly and his friends set out to take them back. Along the way, they deal with Carmelita Fox, who is also trying to take back the parts, but believes Sly was the one who had stolen them in the first place. So yeah, the story is pretty simple. I mean, yes, there are a few plot twists and a few character development moments, but I didn't find these moments interesting. The plot twists were quite predictable, and other than Sly and Carmelita, I really didn't care about any of the other characters. Bentley was okay, however Murray has easily become one of my least favorite characters in the game, and I found him to be the most annoying character of them all. To be fair, while I really didn't care for the story, that doesn't mean it's bad because it's not. Sly 2 is a sandbox game, kind of. Okay, so the game is divided up into chapters, and each chapter has its own open world section. The open worlds, for the most part, are quite varied, some taking place in a jungle, some in the snowy mountains, one in an airship, and a few that take place in different cities. It is fun to use Sly to explore these areas, as Sly has the same skills he had in the first game. So there are plenty of roofs to be on top of, ropes to walk across, and vines and pipes to climb. However, scattered throughout these areas are enemy goons who are actually quite strong. You see, Sly now has a health bar, so he can take more hits. However, enemies can take more hits and will even call over more enemies when they spot Sly. Not only that, but Sly will lock onto enemies for some reason when he gets spotted, so you will have to hold down the run button just to get away. This can be very annoying, but thankfully Sly has some new skills that allow him to pickpocket enemies and to take them out quietly. There are also clue bottles scattered throughout the areas, and for the most part they are all quite well hidden, especially in larger areas. By finding all the clue bottles, Sly will have to open up a safe where he will learn a new move. Now the main focus of the game is completing missions in each chapter. By using your goggles, you can see markers that indicate where your current mission is, and these will range from messing with satellites, entering buildings to take pictures, and even following a villain. Sometimes you will even have to collect a few coins to buy required items that will give Sly new moves, like throwing bombs and my favorite, a glider for longer distance jumps. Now while most of the missions are meant for Sly, there are a few missions for Bentley and Murray who are playable for the first time in the series. Now, while I hate Murray as a character in the story, I find him to be rather alright in the gameplay. Murray is really good at taking out enemies, however he isn't very acrobatic. Bentley on the other hand is extremely slow, but he does have some long range attacks which are just okay. His main thing is putting enemies to sleep and killing them with bombs. One other thing I should mention about the missions is that sometimes you will have to go all around the map, which can take forever in bigger areas. In terms of the visuals, they are quite good. The game sticks with a comic book style in both its character models and the environments. Certain areas in the game has some really great color, and there are some with a really nice visual style to them. The animation is also good, however, once again, there are some clunky moments, and even some of the character models can be rather stiff. There is good music in the game, however, I didn't find many of the tracks to be that memorable. All in all, Sly 2 is a drastic change from the first game. The open world level idea was an interesting one for stealth aspects, but I felt most of the worlds were too large, and I really hated some, like the two in Prague. It's a nice idea to make Bentley and Murray playable, however, Sly is still the better character to play as. Sly 2 Band of Thieves is a meh game. It's not a bad game, as there were some fun missions and areas to explore. Plus, Sly does have some cool new moves that are fun to use. However, the story is boring, traveling around the open world can be rather tedious, and overall the game just lacks compared to the first. If you are interested in playing the game, then it is worth checking out. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this review and found it to be rather informative. If you'd like to see more reviews, please check out my channel. And please don't forget to subscribe. And if there are any other PS2 games you'd like to see me review in the future, please leave a suggestion down below. Well, I'm MCB the PS2 Gamer, and I'll see you guys next time.